I first want to introduce to you guys a very good friend of mine. Her name is Christina Williams. She's a Diamond Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. And Christina and I became friends by way of us both being asked to become jewel trainers. We knew of each other, but didn't know each other, and quickly became super duper close simply by virtue of the fact that both of us really kind of run our businesses the same way. We're all about we're all about taking care of business, and I just love her leadership and her training style. And so we had a fabulous time in Portugal together last year, and we both have really big goals this year as well. So I just want to thank you, Christina, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on my team call just to pour into and love on my leaders. So Christina, take it away, my dear. Share whatever you want to share, whatever's on your heart and on your spirit to that you're led to share with us about vision, belief, and treating this business like the business that it is. So,
yes. Oh my gosh, let's go back to Portugal.
I know, right?
Do that. Okay, so listen, y'all. Normally, I show up to these calls like semi-professional, right? But listen, in case any of y'all are Georgia Bulldog fans or like college football fans, I'm just gonna say we did get the natty back to back. Okay. I don't have to really worry about any of y'all.
Bulldogs.
All right. Where's the pom-pom when you need it? So anyway, we're still on a high over here. I'm in Georgia. So we, that's a big deal. So anyway, I am thrilled, literally thrilled to get to be on this team call. I watched Robin's success, and here's what you don't know. When somebody shows up on the scene, we have a tendency to think, man, what a quick success story. And then as I got to know Robin, I'm like, oh, she's been in the trenches a while. And I could relate because me too. And I felt like, so a little bit of my backstory. I'm an educator by trade. I taught elementary school, 4th and 5th grade, and started this actually 7 years ago next week. Kind of obviously never saw this as what I was going to do, never aspired to be wealthy, none of those things, but I did aspire to have more. And, I have 4 kids, so they're expensive. One of them's in college all the way down to one in pre-K. So I definitely wanted more for my life, but I was not a quick start. And y'all, the funniest part is I was not even a great success. Like every step forward I take, I'm not even kidding, I take 3 backwards. And I've kind of been that way my whole life. And for some people, I think that discourages them. Like every bit of progress they make forward, they feel like they have to lose some. And I just have always embraced it. I've just never really seen what the big deal was. If I'm eventually moving forward, I'm going to get where I'm going. And so every rank I ever hit up until Sapphire, I always dropped back, always, every time. And it wouldn't be like a cute amount that I dropped back, y'all. It'd be like to the previous rank and maybe below. But I never really, I struggled with fear, of course. I struggled with doubt, of course, but it was never an option for me to stop moving forward. And so when I tell you, like Robin, I clawed my way to diamond. And the crazy thing is there was never an indicator that the clawing was almost over. Like if I look back on my journey, it was struggle, but blessings all throughout. Just loving the journey, embracing the journey. When you know that there's no quit in your brain, it allows you to just embark on it. So I never had any quit, never crossed my mind. Even when I missed Senior Ruby by less than a person. Okay. Ask me how that's possible. I'm not really sure. I did it. Okay. 7:49 and announced to our team that we had hit it. So that is even better. Until I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, this is going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward for a lot of people. We did not hit it. So I just say all of that to say that all along the journey, there was never an indicator that the struggle was almost over, but it was. There came a time when the years of failing forward compounded in a big, massive way. We hit sapphire and then diamond re-entry, and then silver, gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, all the like back, like just like that. But people, that's when people realized who I was. And I'm over here like, they would treat me as though I was new. And like, maybe I had something new to offer. And I'm over here like, I ain't new. I am what you call a veteran. And what I have to offer you is this: keep going, do what you're doing and analyze the results. If you don't like the results, change what you're doing, but never change the doing. Make sure you're always doing. So what I want to talk to you guys tonight about is vision, number one, because just kind of chatting with Robin and getting to know the dynamics of y'all's team. A lot of you have been here a minute, and a lot of you are feeling like, man, I'm spinning my wheels. Is this going to be worth it? Am I moving forward at all? So-and-so over here is moving faster, or so-and-so over there has this. And sometimes if we're not careful, we can fall into a trap of entitlement. Now, Robin told me y'all were real nice and that we were all still going to be friends after this call. So I am known for just shooting it straight, and it comes from so much love. But listen, if y'all can survive Robin, you're going to be all right with me, okay? But we fall into this trap of entitlement where we feel like I should be further than I am. I should have that already. This should be easier, as though we're owed something, or as though we somehow deserve what the success that is here to be had. Let me tell you very honestly, I don't feel like I deserve any of this. Am I extremely grateful? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can look back and see the recipe for the success. But what we have to battle is this entitlement of I should be further, I should be at a higher rank, or worse, my upline should be doing this for me, my downline should be doing this for me. It's real easy to allow those thoughts in because it deflects ownership. Okay. So what I'm talking about tonight, I want to talk about several different things. Number one, vision. Number two, what it looks like to be a leader that people want to follow. And then number three, how to develop that self-belief. So what I would tell you first, what I think you really got to get real clear on first is, are you excited about the potential here? Sometimes we will convince ourselves and say the right answer when someone says, are you all in? Yeah, I'm all in. The opposite of that would be like half in, and who the heck wants to be half in? But really, when you're thinking about what you have to offer somebody, are you full of boldness and passion and rock solid belief that they should risk it all to build something like this? Because guys, you're asking them to take a risk. You're asking them to face rejection. You're asking them to face judgment. You're asking them to face these things. And your belief has got to be so incredibly high that it makes the risk feel so much less. Okay. So I think that's number one. And now here's the thing though. Confidence and belief come with competence. And when you find your confidence or your boldness or your passion starting to wane, it's almost always in direct correlation with a waning of your own personal results. Now, people don't like to hear that because it's so much easier to assume it's someone else's problem. But I think the best thing that you have to do is recognize you are solely responsible for your business. You're solely responsible. Now, can you build this without people? No. But are you dependent on any one person and your upline or your downline or your sideline to build this? Absolutely not. There's millions of people in the world. If so-and-so ain't going to build this with you, go find someone else, right? If your upline can't do for you what you think she should, you go learn how to do for you what you feel like we should. My pastor said something Sunday. He said, people come to the church all the time and they'll say, Pastor Jacob, why don't you do this in the church? Like, why don't we make this change? And he'll say, great. I think God gave you that desire for you to facilitate that change. So sometimes when you're wanting to blame or point the finger. It's so much easier to just make a U-turn and think, okay, wait a second. What is this within me? And what's my responsibility here? So in regards to creating this self-belief, this vision, I think you got to get real clear on where you're going. And I think you got to get real clear on why you're going there. It can't always just be goal setting from a place of scarcity. Because I don't have this rank, that's going to be my goal. Or because we don't have financial flexibility, I need to make this dollar amount. Because I don't have, we set goals from this place of scarcity. Because I can't fit into the size 8 jeans, this is going to be my goal. Because I can't, fill in the blank. Whatever. Almost always people who are struggling to have a growth mindset, they will set goals from a place of scarcity and not even realize they're doing it. But the problem with that is that when you get up in the morning to work on the goal that you've set from the place of scarcity, your brain is already feeling defeated. It's already battling scarcity, doubt, skepticism. I want to offer you a different alternative. And Genevieve is actually who taught me this. She's brilliant, by the way. She said, Christina, when you're helping people set goals, help them set goals from a place of abundance. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? How do you set goals from a place of abundance? She says, well, if you're trying to help somebody go gold, help them realize because you've already gone silver, that's all that, that's the ammunition that you need to become a gold. Not because you don't already have gold, but because of what you do already have. Because you do have a husband that loves you, the goal can be to strengthen and grow that marriage. Whereas sometimes it's like, okay, because my husband needs to change in this way, or in this area, we need to do this and this and this. But instead, abundance would be because I have a husband who loves me, he's loyal, we can increase and grow in this way. So sometimes getting in that place of abundance when it comes to setting goals will help your brain automatically be solution oriented versus problem oriented. Am I talking too fast? Y'all from the South. I'm not talking too fast. Okay. So I think that that's super important. I think that if you are setting goals from a place of abundance, your brain is going to be open to solutions. If you're setting goals from a place of scarcity, your brain is going to see all of the hurdles in the problems. So we got to work on having that abundance mindset. And I think that that has to do with self-belief, which I'm going to get into in just one more second. But I think what you have to take responsibility of, what I took responsibility of in my business, and it's what moved the needle forward every single time it ever moved forward. And it was a lot of times it moved forward because it was a lot of times it moved backwards. And let me tell y'all the reason it moved backwards. Let me save you. It moved backwards because I was not investing in personal growth. I had hit my leadership lid. And so every time, instead of being ready for when the needle moved, because the needle always moves. If you're being consistent, the needle always moves. But instead of getting ready so I could be ready, I'd have to play catch up. And so because I'd have to play catch up, my points would slide backwards while I learned or became the leader I needed to be for that particular rank. So let me caution you, please don't fall into the trap of thinking when I have a team, then I'll learn how to lead. Or for some of you who are more seasoned, when I have a new rock star, then I'll revamp the system. When I have somebody who catches on, then I'll learn how to cast vision. Be doing the things that you think might be necessary in the future right now, so that you can be ready when that shows up on the scene. I think that's why you saw people like Robin and myself when momentum hit. And guys, momentum's coming again. Like massive momentum. And if you want to be the Christina and the Robin and the Brittany of the next wave of momentum, it's going to be based off of what you're doing right now. Because remember, we didn't have any indicators either that it was coming, except for some people saying, y'all, it's coming. Like I feel it coming. And we're telling you, as experienced people with almost a decade here, it's coming. So be ready to ride that wave. But you got to take ownership of your results. You can't possibly expect your team to be inspired if you're not creating results. When you stop creating results, like creating new fast start silvers, creating a new fast start gold, helping somebody go ruby. I mean, just do a quick self-check. When is the last time you created a new fast start goal? Because there was a time in your business where you thought creating a goal in 30 days was no big deal. Y'all did it. I've watched some of you guys rank up so daggum fast, my head spun. Because of that, people on your team were ranking up so fast. And then we get into this place where we think, oh gosh, was that a fluke? How many of y'all battled that thought? I've literally had to work through this. Was I a one-timer? Like, what am I doing? Because all of a sudden it feels a little more difficult, but it feels more difficult because of what we are thinking about it. Our feelings are always a direct result of our thoughts. You guys know that. So it's whatever you're thinking about the process of creating a fast start goal that is producing the results. So you got to do a self-check and say, okay, when is the last time I produced results? And that always encouraged me, y'all, because I'm a really hard worker. And I knew, like, if it were to be, it's up to me. I embraced that. Some people like balk at that. I did not. Like, what I got to go learn? Who do I have to go connect with? Who do I have to learn to cast? Like, I'll look like a fool trying to cast vision, but I'm going to figure it out. So if it is to be, it is up to you. The best thing that you can do to spark creativity, excitement, momentum is go produce results without the team you currently have. And some of you, I hear, like, in your brain, you're already going, oh, I can't do that. Bless their hearts. I could not. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's the best thing you can do for them. Kind of like when you have a toddler pitching a fit on the floor and you have another child over here behaving. All of you in education know this. What's going to get that child to do what needs to be done? It's certainly not focusing on him. It is turning around and focusing on the ones who are doing or are willing. And all of a sudden, that toddler sits up a little straighter, crisscross applesauce. Like, he all of a sudden wants to, for lack of a better word, fall in line. So the best thing you can do to spark that with your team is spark it within yourself. Figure out, what do I have to think so that I can feel the excitement that I desire in my business? Some of you are waiting for the feeling to come first so that you can then think that you're excited about your business. And that's backwards. It's, what do you have to think right now to create the feeling inside of excitement, boldness, passion? All of those feelings are a result of what we think. So, got to take responsibility for your results. And then you got to be willing to share your team with your team, obviously, about your results. So, all right. I think that's all I had to say right here. You guys know, obviously, if you're feeling uninspired, okay, again, that's not fact. You're not actually uninspired. It's likely that you have dropped the ball on adding value to yourself. If you were adding value to yourself every single day, you wouldn't be able to help but be inspired. And when you're inspired, you can spark that in others, because then you have value to give away. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, we're doing good. We got 29 minutes. All right. And I'm not the most tech savvy human, y'all, so just, bear with me. There's really no telling how this will go. Anybody can be a diamond, I promise. Let me move this. I don't want to go to the recording studio. I just want you to let me show them this thing. Oh, that ain't it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, that one right there, I think. Ta-da. Okay. Conquering doubt and fear. The power of self-belief in this journey. Because what I hope you know is that we all battle doubt, fear. We all have thoughts of, is this going to be worth it? If I get there, will I be able to stay there? Like, we all have these thoughts, but it's what you do with the thoughts that are going to determine your long-term success, because every single one of you have the ability to learn the skill set here. Skill set, we're talking, some people say 20%. I'm going to go 20 to 30% skill set. You got to learn how to master recruiting. You got to master getting people results. You got to master duplication. And then you got to master leadership, which is just helping the people that's duplicating get results. That's what leadership is, helping people get what they want. and developing them in the process. But that's only a small part of this. The other 70 to 80% is what you're telling yourself between your ears. If you're telling yourself, I'm tired, I've been doing this long enough, I should be further than I am by now, it's not fair that she's where she's at and I'm where I'm at, or I got there once and now I fell back, so it's probably not for me. If you're telling yourself that, just know your mind will find ways to prove you right. It will actively seek evidence that you're right. However, if you're telling yourself, surely someone around here has struggled as much as me and is a success, your mind will start looking for evidence. You'll start asking questions like, hey, Robin, who do you know that's in the same situation or who has been here? Can you share their story with me? You'll start searching for evidence. So unfortunately, the 70 or 80% that's going to actually determine your success here, we can't give you. You're going to have to take ownership of it because it's between your ears. So we're going to work on that here. Okay, so big idea. Self-belief is what fuels your success. If you have it, protect it. And if you don't have it, rebuild it. Now, some of you, I feel like, are probably already a little ticked off with me because you thought, great, this is another one of those hokey mindset calls. Like, I want her to tell me the magic sauce. And I only know that that's what you're thinking because that's what I used to think. I used to think, good for you, diamond making brain surgeon money. Can you just tell me what to freaking do? And somebody really wise one day said, Christina, it is not what you need to do. It is who you must become. And I was like, oh, okay. How do I do that? So self-belief, we got to figure out how to develop that. Okay. Question for self-reflection. Are you excited about your business or are you frustrated about your business? And some of you think that the answer to this is related to the current results that you have, and it's not true. The answer to this is related to the current thoughts that you are attaching to the current results that you have. Okay, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. All right, so you guys probably know this. I'm sure Robin has shared this with you, but we'll play a little guess who game. Guess who? This person did not speak until the age of 4. Their parents believed their child to be subnormal, and they were expelled from school and described as mentally slow. Anybody know? Let's see. Anybody know? Oh, I don't know how to, I can't open the chat. Well, that's not fun.
Brown?
Nope. Good one though. It was
Einstein.
Einstein. Yep. Einstein. Okay. This person was unemployed, divorced, and raising their daughter on Social Security. And her novel was rejected by 12 publishing houses. And if you don't know this answer, I'm going to assume it's because you didn't listen to my convention talk because this was part of my speech.
J.K. Rowling.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Person failed in business 3 times, and he failed 7 times campaigning prior to becoming president.
President Lincoln.
Yep. 7 times. Y'all over here trying to pout because you missed a rank once. And he's over there like, no, I'm going to run again. Can you imagine what his wife must have thought on time number 7? She's probably like, really, honey? Really? You ain't cut out for this. And he's over there like, I dang sure am. I'm better than I was for the 6th attempt. So the 7th attempt, I'm ready. Let's go. This person had a rough and abusive childhood. She was fired as a TV reporter, and she was told she was unfit for television.
Oprah.
Oprah.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, right. You know her and love her. Okay, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Sometimes the burnout or the overwhelm or the frustration that we feel in our business is because we feel like that if we are failing or not hitting our goals, we must also not be succeeding. And it's part of it. There is no success without failure. And sometimes we just need a reminder. We know this. We know this when we're encouraging our child to keep going when they don't make a sports team. We know this when we encourage that toddler on the bike with no training wheels. Like, we understand it's normal that they're going to mess up and they're going to fail, but we also expect that they keep going. Guys, this business is no different. You're learning to ride a bike with no training wheels. Once you master it on flat roads, then you're downhill, and that's unfortunate. right? Like, and then it's uphill, and then there's a car coming, and like, there's just crazy things that happen. But if you expect it and you're willing to just lean into it, it doesn't have to mean anything about long-term. Okay, look at this beautiful hill. How many of you would go on a hike with me on this hill? Probably everybody. We're all gonna hike. Like, it looks decently, like it's pretty flat until now. And you know what scares me about this picture is it's getting dark. And like, I'm not in the mountains, like I live in Georgia, but I've been to Arizona a few times. And I always like, I think that's when animals come out, like mountain lions or something. I ain't trying to mess with that. So I, at this point, am probably nervous. But if I have somebody who's from Arizona walking this trail with me and they keep saying, keep going, like, hold on, there's not any, like, well, you're safe. This is normal. It's okay that you're scared. Persevere anyway. I could be convinced to keep going, especially if they kept saying, this is where we're going, Christina, a little bit further, a little bit further, a few more scraped knees, a few more scraped knees. You just know we're almost there. Guys, that's what I'm here to tell you is happening for you in this business. And if you're already where you want to be in this business, maybe you're already a jewel, maybe you're already a diamond and you're like, I'm good. Guys, people desperately need what we have. And if you can't figure out how to light your fire for yourself, can you figure it out for somebody else? Like, what if your obedience here is the blessing that God has stored up for someone else, and your disobedience is robbing them of that? What if you not sharing the business opportunity because you just ain't feeling it today, or you're already frustrated, or so-and-so done quit? I'm not doing that today. I'm going to wash my hands of it. I'm going to stay in this messy, miserable middle where I can just let myself off the hook and go eat a sandwich, versus what would whoever you think is super successful, what would Sonia Dudley do? What would Robin do? What would these people do? And then behaving like that. Okay. So here's what you have to fuel your self-belief. You have to have a solid mindset, you have to have solid actions, and you have to have solid relationships. And I've watched the culture of y'all's team. Like, I mean, if there is a team that I feel like rivals our team with as far as culture, it's totally you guys. Like, we love each other. You guys love each other. There's no place we'd rather be than together. And so just know you all, like, that is a giant piece of the puzzle that sometimes when you're this close to it, you don't really realize how good you've got it. And so anytime I get to connect with a team of a caliber, like of Robin's team and your other leaders' teams, I just want to drive home the point that other people don't have it this good. Other people don't have diamonds making $20,000, $30,000 a month, still leading, still working, still growing, and therefore still investing. That I just want you to know what you have, because it's really special. And sometimes that benefit alone is worth inviting someone into the community. So anyways, all right, focus on your why. Why are you doing this? And sometimes people will tell me their why, but it's a goal. And I'm like, okay, well, that ain't your why. That's a goal. Your why is, it's birthed out of your core values. And if you're like me, I had to Google a list of core values. And I found a list of 100 core values, and I spent time going through that entire list and narrowing it down to the 5 core values that mean the most to me. And I challenge you to do that, because when you create a why out of those core values, it will fuel you. And then as I'm creating this why or this vision, number one, the first thing I did was find out my core values. Second thing I did was I asked myself, what problems in the world will my obedience to build this solve? What problems in the world will my obedience to build this solve? When you ask yourself that question, it makes it about so much more than supplements. Listen, I love our products, okay? They have helped me tremendously. Am I passionate about selling a probiotic? No. You know what fuels me is the fact that I realize how many women put a ceiling on their potential. They don't understand that they can create something of their own, that they can exceed everybody's expectations of them, and that they can create massive, massive amounts of change and in turn have freedom. And I feel that way because that's what got me here. That's what I wanted. I couldn't articulate it at the time. But through my experience and out of my core values, some of my core values include security, they include success, they include faith, they include loyalty. So out of those core values and answering the questions of what problems in the world will my obedience to build this solve, that is what, I mean, it's real hard to let myself off the hook of sharing the opportunity when I'm over here like, well, if I don't, then basically I'm just cranking the ceiling down on the next girl who wants to change her life. And I'm not willing to do that. So it's what keeps me in the game. All right. Then you have to know where you want to go. If you don't have a solid vision, then it is practically like you running around playing freeze tag, but yet hoping that you end up in Arizona for Super Saturday. Like, you got to know where you're going. So you got to get real clear on, what am I going to create here? And it's got to be bigger than a goal. Then you're going to have to go ahead and address that inner critic. We all have it. And if you go through counseling, they'll draw it back down to some point in your childhood. It's going to be different for everybody, but everybody has a critic, because for decades we're told, sit down, shut up, no, be happy, be grateful, stay where you are. I mean, we're told all these things. So doing something that feels like it's in direct defiance of that, your mind is going to want you to just be safe. Just be safe. Just nope. Quiet that down. Quiet that dream down. And I'm over here like, listen, right? Okay. And then affirm yourself. Guys, whatever feeling you can get from going and getting perspective from your best friend or your husband or your pastor, whatever that feeling is that their encouragement gives you, did you know that you are perfectly able to create that same feeling within yourself? You don't actually need, it's nice to have it. I think everybody should have an inner circle, but the feeling that you get when somebody says, yeah, I think that's a good idea, or yeah, you made the right choice, you can create that feeling yourself. You're going to have to figure out, what am I thinking that creates that feeling when they say these things to me? And then learn to say them to yourself. You're going to have to affirm yourself. It's so important. All right. Solid actions. Listen, friends. How am I doing on time? Okay, make sure I'm not going to end the Zoom on me. Sometimes, here's what had happened. We will judge everybody else, our team, our upline, everybody else, on the actions that they take. She's doing good because she did this. She's doing bad because she did that, whatever. But we will judge ourselves based off of our intentions. Well, I intended to do that, as though that is somehow credible. Haven't even done that. Well, I didn't get on team call, but I meant to. So that's good enough. I didn't actually read the chapters for the week, but I thought about it. I didn't actually have that business conversation, but I expect my team to. We let ourselves off the hook because, again, it's way more comfortable than having to say, nope, Summer, got to get back up out of the bed. I didn't do that business reach out, and I told my team I would. So I'm going to go actually judge my actions, not my intentions. And then you got to make the hard decision to do it. It's way easier to, again, to just let yourself off the hook. Go eat the sandwich instead, but make the hard decision. And then for the love, please get excited about learning something. I don't care what you learn. I have been reading all kinds of books about millionaires. You know why? I feel like it'd be fun to be one. Although I can't decide if I want to be a millionaire or just have a millionaire life. So I'll get back to you on that. But if I could be a millionaire and have the millionaire life, then that's probably what I'll sign up for. But do you know how much vision it gives me to read about everyday people who have become millionaires? A ton. It gives me a ton of excitement. Do you think I'm excited to share about the opportunity with people? Yeah, because what if they want to be an everyday millionaire? And what if they're an educator making $60,000 a year, but really they could be a millionaire a lot faster if they were making diamond income? I mean, it's math. It's not like a mystical thing. I can do the math. So learn something. When you're learning something, you'll be excited to share something, and your post will be more valuable. Your conversations will be more valuable. Learn something. Okay. Here's the thing. That's pretty much my position at all times when I'm with my team. Like I tend to just act a fool. Remove negative people. Here's the thing, friends. Some of you might have teenage kids. I have a kid in college, one in high school, one in second grade, and one in pre-K. I look around and there ain't a chance and where that if they said, well, mama, I got to run with this bad crowd so that I can help them be good, that I'd be like, okay, honey, that's a wise choice. Let's do that. No, but that is what we will tell ourselves when it comes to our negative Nancy friends or our criticizing Craigs, or like we will just tell ourselves, well, you know, if I just hang in here long enough, he's eventually going to come around, or she's eventually going to be nice, or what? Wrong. You don't need their support. Just put some boundaries in place. There are some great books on setting good boundaries. Protect your mindset. Remember that 70% we talked about? Every time you allow somebody negative, somebody who's not out for your best interest to get in there, they chip away at it. They chip away at it. And then now you have double time. You only had the job today to grow by 1%, but because you let them chip away at it, now you've doubled the growth required. Now you have to grow by 2%. So I heard this quote the other day. I need to find out who said it, but it said, don't accept criticism from someone you would not go to for advice. So that person who's nasty on your post or rude in your inbox, who cares? Who cares, right? And then obviously encourage others. I know Robin has, we do run our businesses almost the same way. So listen, if it doesn't add value, don't do it. Don't do it. If you can't attend the retreat this weekend, don't go in the group chat and tell people you ain't coming. That doesn't add value. People will say, oh, well, I just was trying to let them know. They don't need you to let them know. You private message the host and say, hey, unfortunately, I can't make it. But when you go in there and you say, hey, I can't come, or I didn't do what was required, or whatever, what that does is someone who's struggling with that negative mindset is thinking, oh, well, if Summer's not coming, yeah, I probably won't either. Or, oh, if Summer didn't do it, I probably won't either. So encourage others, add value. If you're not intentionally adding, just know by default, you're subtracting. There is no way for you to accidentally add value to people. And you're on this team and you have a responsibility to add value every day. Okay. Mindset fuels your belief. Actions build your belief, because confidence comes with competent, but you can't get competent without practice. So do it before you feel prepared. Host the event and don't be reliant on whoever shows up. It doesn't matter. The point of the event was not for them to come. The point of the event was for you to have courage and host it. Do something without relying on your upline. You don't need her for that online event. Do your own. Ask some questions. Do your own. You have an idea about creating a messenger thing? Create it. Do it. Execute it. Get some data. Maybe what if that is the next best thing for the whole team? Go try it out. And then relationships protect your belief. The law of the inner circle. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter. Okay, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. You guys know this, but it's really hard, like I said, when we're feeling like it should have happened faster than by now. Like fast compared to who? Compared to who? Because until you've been doing it 9 years, 10 years, you all right. You right on track. All right, create a daily discipline to grow. If you're not already growing, grow. And if you're just consuming, this is kind of hurt y'all's feelings. If you are reading, but you're just consuming and not digesting it, you might as well just save your 30 minutes of reading time. Just do something else, because it's not going to be effective. You're going to have to read something and then go through some really tough questions like, based off of what I just learned, what do I need to change or start or stop in my business? And then tell somebody, if you're actually learning, you should be excited to be in your upline's inbox going, oh my gosh, Summer, did you know about this? Like, Robin, what are your thoughts on this? You should be excited to share what you're learning. Question for self-reflection. When is the last time you started a conversation because you were excited about what you learned? We might start conversations because we're excited about what we got. We got that result, but are we talking about what we're learning? And then communicate with someone to hold you accountable. I think that's always super important. And I challenge you leaders, when you are leading your team, If there's something that they're supposed to be doing and they know that they're supposed to be doing it, they're saying that they're going to do it. When you connect with them, the first question is, okay, Robin, how did it go with what you said you were going to do last week? Oh, you didn't get to it? Okay, so there's really nothing else to talk about right now. Why don't you go do that? And you let me know when you're prepared. You start taking some of that access away. Like, no, sister, that'd be like going to the football coach and being like, hey, can we run some one-on-one drills? And he's like, I mean, you missed all week's practice. Like, you don't get one-on-one drills with you got to come to practice. So hold your team accountable lovingly. You lovingly hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do. The kicker is it's got to be what they say. It's got to be what they want. And then your job is to just help them get what they want. If for 1 second they feel like you value your results or success more than theirs, that's when it becomes a problem. So you really got to have a heart check and ask yourself, whose success am I more concerned about here? Because your success comes. The more people you help be successful, your success comes. They've got to understand that you are simply there to help them get what they want. And when they believe that, and when you believe that, it removes that emotional attachment to their results. They do or don't do what you think they should be doing because you're responsible for your own business. So if that's the case, then I'm not dependent on what they're doing to grow my business. I can go grow it outside of that. So I'm really, really excited to see what 2023 brings for you guys. You have one of the best leaders in the entire company. And all of you can achieve what we have achieved. There's nothing that you guys are going through or have been through or any current result or circumstance that I can't show you someone in this company who has been there and overcome it anyway. It's just going to be a matter of what you're choosing to believe about it. So, Robin, thank you for letting me share.
My word, 2 pages of notes, so many golden nuggets. I cannot thank you enough, sweet Christina.
You're so welcome.
Every single piece of wisdom that you imparted on my team, I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much, team, for hopping on the call tonight. I hope you guys took as many notes as I did and are ready to go and implement some of these amazing, amazing nuggets. Thank you so much, Christina, for hopping on.
Absolutely. Love y'all. See ya.
Being willing to receive. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks, Christina. That was awesome.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.